Your communication is going to be the reason that you do not get an offer to study at either Oxford or Cambridge. Now, I mentioned this in my previous video and I gave some pointers and some advice as to how you can improve on your communication in the run up to the interview. Now, I'm going to give you another bit of advice, another technique which I think works really, really well. The issue is, for a lot of people, when they speak, they maybe use a lot of ers and ums and filler words. I'm guilty of that sometimes as well, which kind of takes away from your confidence. But also, it's just the manner in which you speak. When you come across, it maybe doesn't come across as well, it comes across a bit more like a robot than you probably want it to. You want it to be a human. Remember, at the end of the day, the interviewers are also making a decision, not just about you, but about themselves. They are asking themselves, is this person someone that I want to teach for the next 2, 3, 4 years? And one easy way to make that a no is if they sound like a robot. Who wants to teach a robot? Robots are boring, right? But who do people want to teach? It's people who are actually interested, engaged, and can sound that way as well. So here's something you can do. So hopefully you've listened to my previous advice and you're recording yourself explaining through your solutions to problems. So if you're preparing for a maths interview or something similar, take a bunch of, step problems, Olympiad problems, whatever it is, look at the problem, solve it, and whilst you're solving it, record yourself explaining through the solution, writing stuff down at the same time. Now, I encourage you to both record your paper, but also yourself. So if you can, maybe set up a phone in like a tripod, so it's recording your writing, or if you're using an iPad or whatever, that's fine. And then also use a camera, a separate camera, to film your expressions. And if you can, try and do it so that it's two separate cameras, so you can actually see your full kind of body on the whole screen, or your upper body on the whole screen, as opposed to just like when you record on Zoom and it's just in one corner. The reason for this is I'm going to then, once you've recorded it, I'm going to give you three different things to do. Firstly, I want you to listen back to just the audio. So I don't want you to watch the footage. I just want you to listen to the audio. So let's say I've just recorded myself. I'm gonna just press play and then turn away and just listen to the audio. And then in doing this, you're gonna hear how you sound. Sounds a bit silly, but you're gonna hear how you sound. And what will this do? This is gonna make it 10 times easier for you to detect how much waffling you're doing or how much you're saying and filler words. And this will, the best way to convince someone is to have them see it for themselves. And so this is going to be the way for you to see yourself that actually what I'm saying is true, that your communication probably is going to be the reason you get rejected in January. So let's make a change now. So go back and listen to your audio. That's the first thing you do. So listen back once. Cool. Then what I want you to do is watch the video, but this time when you watch it, do it without the audio. So watch it on mute. And this way you're going to see the equivalent of like filler words, but in your body language. So lots of times when I'm speaking to people, they might be kind of rocking back and forth in their chairs or something, and it just comes across really unprofessional. It makes you look like you're really nervous. You don't really know what you're doing. Or they could be like fidgeting and whatever it is. These are the things which, when you watch them back, you'll go, oh, that's very odd. Why do I do that? And you probably don't even realize it when you're doing it naturally. And remember, this is your first impression, or this is to the interviewer, your first impression on them. And so it's important that you don't look like a freak. Like, why are you rocking back and forth? And one of the big things, one of the most underrated things I say when it comes to the interview is being composed. And this shows just a lack of composure. And so it's really important to address any weird tendencies you may have and deal with them and just recognize them. And if you see them for yourself, you'll be like, okay, cool, I'm consciously rocking back and forth. Let me hold myself still. Cool. Once you've done those two things, the third thing I'd recommend is transcribing your audio. So looking at the actual words and then reading it out. The reason this works so well is because A, you can again catch those filler words and stuff which maybe you don't even hear when you listen to the audio because you're so used to your own voice. But then also you can kind of see maybe you're taking 10 lines to explain something. It should only take 2 lines to explain. And you can literally quantify how much waffling you're doing. You're doing 8 lines of waffling. And remember, in an interview, it's such a short amount of time. You want every kind of sentence, everything you say has to be of high value because you don't have that much time. You don't have infinite time to kind of get your point across. You have to be concise without under explaining either. But that is a hack. What I've described here is a great little process that you can now implement into your preparation over the last couple of weeks. Record yourself, listen to the audio, watch it back on mute, and then read through the transcript. And do this with every single recording of a problem that you solve. And I promise you will become 10 times better at communication. So when you go into the interviews, you'll absolutely smash it. I'll leave the video on screen, the last one I talked about, giving you some advice on communication for the last 2 weeks before your interviews, and I'll go and catch you over there.